streaming live today from the Key Bridge Marriott, where we have the Blockchain and Healthcare Code-a-thon sponsored by ONC and the Chamber of Digital Commerce. Last I checked, it was 31 degrees and snowing. It's no longer snowing, but it is pretty cold out there. Luckily, we were able to find a new home at the Key Bridge Marriott, so thank you. I know last we updated, we also told you that we had some additional room downstairs where all of our in-person contestants can actually spend the night. So we have about 6 or 7 teams downstairs hard at work coding. I know all of you at home are doing the same as well, and I hope you're just as excited as all of us here. I just want to go over a few logistics for you. We've had a couple of additional questions as I've been walking around. Again, submissions are due at 7 a.m. There were questions about formal team formations. Those really won't be solidified until you submit at 7 a.m. So the submission form is up on the Code-a-thon website. It will ask you a number of things. First, your team name, the names of all the members in your team. It will ask for the URL for the GitHub, as well as your most recent commit for the submission. We also will require that you let us know if you will be presenting remotely or in person. That will really help us set up the Zoom and the webinar to be able to live stream tomorrow, as several of you still won't be able to make it into the area. We are still working out logistics for tomorrow, whether we will be back at Georgetown or here at the Marriott. All of that will come to you. We'll let you know via the email, websites, the chat windows. Please make sure that you are asking all of your questions via the chat window in our IRC channel. We have a lot of good questions going on now about the live stream from the YouTube. That's going to really be the only way that we can communicate and take your questions and give you some answers. If you're having any issues with the IRC, please email Jennifer Adona, Jennifer K at capcomcorp, I believe, .com. I also want to say thank you so much to MITRE, Sovereign, and Hyperledger for your presentations during the office hours. We have a couple of really great presentations coming up next. We've got the United States Postal Service, Hash Health, and Microsoft, who was rescheduled from earlier today. Unfortunately, Jem will not be able to make it, but if there's any information that they'd like us to pass on to you, we will be sure that we send that to you by day's end as well. We do have Debbie Bucci from ONC if she wants to make her way up very quickly, just to maybe talk about what inspired you to maybe bring the blockchain challenge to ONC, as well as the workshop and this follow-on Code-a-thon. Just real quick. For I'll give you the microphone.
So hello, I'm Debbie Bucci, and we've been watching blockchain for a while, and it's kind of built on the momentum. First, I think I want to say I've started watching it early 2015, and then we proposed to ONC that this might be something really good to look at. When we were first looking at this in the fall of 2015, if I did a Google, I could only find 3 references to blockchain, and that was Estonia, something from Phillips, and then the work that MIT was clearly doing from the Bitcoin to blockchain. So we were expecting, when we had our first challenge, we were expecting, 10 papers and got 77. And since then, we have so many blockchain conferences. There's even 2 this week. So it seems having a Code-a-thon of trying to continue the conversation around blockchain and how it could integrate with healthcare, that this was a really good way as another baby step towards seeing where things would go. And thank you so, so much for enjoying. I can't believe with all the changes and the snow and maybe in rooms and everything that this is still going on and this is live. Thanks very much to John. And then John Holt, who's really the orchestration behind this. And Caitlin's been awesome as the MC through the whole thing. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to the final presentations.
Thank you, Debbie. We also had a couple of questions about presentations. So again, we will be presenting tomorrow. The teams will have 5 minutes to present. It'll be broken up into a 3-minute presentation to the judges and then 2 minutes for Q&A. That 5 minutes really is the team's time. If you decide that you want to forego the Q&A with the judges, that's okay. You can have a 5-minute presentation, but just remember, judges won't be able to ask the questions and won't be able to get those clarifying remarks. If you have, if you're going to be showing a slideshow, just make sure that you upload that to your GitHub as well, and in the notes section, let us know the name of that file so we'll be able to have that on hand. That's again going to be very important, and make sure that you distinguish whether you will be a remote or an in-person participant tomorrow for your presentations. There was a question about title slides and if there's any hashtag that we're requiring. We don't have any requirements for hashtags at the moment. We just ask that you put the name of your team and the track that you'll be addressing. Those are absolutely required for the title slide. And again, all these logistics will be sent to you later on tonight. The submission page is up there. We want to clarify as well that there's been some confusion about open source license. We are accepting all the common licenses, so Apache, MIT, Creative Commons, those are all acceptable. If you have any additional questions, please, I really am trying to drive folks to that IRC channel. We are there behind the scenes answering questions, and that's really the best way to communicate with us. So I think we will continue with our office hours. So next up is the United States Postal Service. I have Jeff Takis and John Scott Atwood here to present. Thank you.
Am I live? Okay, great. Thank you. I'm Jeff Takis from the U.S. Postal Service. Appreciate being invited to this event. We're very excited about the blockchain and healthcare Code-a-thon that's happening today. Many thanks to ONC and to the Chamber of Digital Commerce here in DC. We really appreciate the invitation. So I'll be talking a little bit about the electronic postmark, which is the digital version of the traditional U.S. Postal Service physical postmark. And the intent of the digital or the electronic postmark is to allow folks to get a time and a date stamp of a message that they send, in addition to creating a hash of that document so that it can be verified at any time in the future. So just like you use a traditional postmark to prove that you sent something at some point in time, you can use a digital or the electronic postmark to garner that same proof and then be able to validate that document over time. That's the same document that was sent at a previous date and time. It is a API web service. So why don't we go on to slide